Oh. Hey, folks. Sorry about that. Oh. I was a little bit late today. I was literally just got out of the shower, so my hair is a fucking state. But, yeah, hope everybody has had a good day. Just blocking off some of the light. It's too much of it getting through. Oh, right. Just sorting myself out. I'm very much in a manic rush today. I didn't realise until I was, till about 4:30. I was like, oh shit, I haven't been in the shower. I'll stream soon. Now let me just get some music. Oh, this is good. Just make sure everything is all good. I'll say if there's anything wrong. Stick something in chat. I'll see it. So, but either way, I have a not just a very general plan today, because normally, I'll either come in with a certainly the first couple streams I did, we made spells. The first stream was all spells, and it was really, really fun. The first stream I ever did was just spells. We made Bubble, we made Clairaudience, Friction, Non-Friction, Misty Smite, and Ray of Force, and I think Ray of Oof as well, which was a colourful experience, that's for sure. But today, it's a little more structured because I have a very specific spell I want to make. A very, very specific spell. It's called Plane Shape. And you'll catch on very, very quickly as to what it's actually supposed to be. But I'm just going to sort of dive into it a little bit. And see what happens. We'll come back to this. This incredibly powerful spell allows you to formulate the cosmos into a new plane of existence. That is what we're doing. This is a 9th level spell. It's going to let you just make a plane. My main point of inspiration for this, for anyone who saw my now going live tweet, is basically the concept within Magic the Gathering that Planeswalkers, certainly pre-mending, probably not now, but pre-mending, yeah, that would suck. That would suck. The idea would be that they can make their own worlds. It's incredibly difficult and very taxing, but it's pretty worth it. Just on like a, just a basis of like, I have a world that I created. Right, so our material components should be The original components need to be suitably ridiculous. A 10-foot sphere. A 10-foot sphere of fused gemstone depicting the created plane's topography worth at least 100,000 gold pieces. That's where we're starting. From an angel, from a celestial, a fiend, no, this doesn't make any sense. Created plane topography worthless. We'll come back to this. This, I had a good idea here, though. This incredibly powerful spell allows you to formulate the cosmos into a new plane of existence. This plane is of a design of your choosing. Is a design of your choosing, and can be and is sculpted to your liking. Its biomes plain shape is gonna be a colorful time. Also, welcome in. Right. So, one or more. At least one 5-foot sphere. At least one crystal terrarium containing a miniature biome. With at least 10,000 gold pieces. So the components will be the degree of customization. So my thoughts was that the amount you spend on this sphere of crystal depicts the size of the plane. 'Cause you're making a planet, right? So if you spend the base 10,000 gold pieces, you're probably going to make a planet the size of Pluto. Like, it's going to be very, very small. Like, what is Pluto's... what is the circumference of Pluto? It's like 7,000 kilometers, which is... That's like 4,000 miles, which is, I think, about the size of... Well, I don't actually know off the top of my head how big 4,000 miles is. But it's less than half the size of Earth, that much I know. Circumference of the Earth in miles is just shy of 25,000 miles. Greetings. I am... Welcome in, Livy. I'm making plane shape. I've wanted to do this for fucking ages. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. And very impractical. So yeah, Pluto is less than a fifth the size of Earth. So presumably this base one is going to make something potentially even smaller than Pluto. We're talking like, you know, a planet that's 1,000 miles in circumference. Yeah, sure. Go for it. I say you can drop a link in here. Yeah, this section here, going on about the customization. The more of these crystal terrariums you have, the more biome diversity your created plane is going to have. So, for example, if you have just one, you know, you're going to be making a Tatooine or an Endor or something where it's, you know, Tatooine is a desert planet. Endor is a forest moon. Like, it's one biome. As opposed to, you know, however many would be the sort of the standard amount. Like, the Earth has, I think, about 100 or so, like, distinct biomes. Like, to put it into context, you know, you can't categorize forest, like, all forest-like biomes as forest. It would be, you know, is it a pine forest? Is it a... or is it a deciduous forest? Is it a... I forget the opposite of deciduous. There's, like, 7 different types of marshland. I'll say I'll open those up in a sec. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just the one. Okay, hang on. There we go. 9th level. It's in one action. Ah, yes. It just be like that. So Arcane Wildfire, 9th level, 1 action. Duration. I would put duration special, because that's usually all the spells that have sort of a variable duration. Range, that's a very atypical range. Generally speaking, there'll be multiples of 30. Anything less than that would be, you know, I would just go like 240. Ah, yes. From a spot you can see within, from a point you can see within range, a 10-foot diameter sphere of magical blue fire emerges. The fire spreads around corners, but not through cover. I don't think that last part is needed. Let's say new Fire X here 3D World and Knuckles now featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Added funky mode. Oh shit. Game of the Gear edition. Gotta add that. Very nice. Any objects that aren't... Yeah, I don't think... spreads around corners but not through cover. This is implied. Just by base game rules. The fire ignites any objects that aren't being worn or carried, as well as any creations of force it touches. Presumably that means Wall of Force, but Wall of Force is functionally immune to damage. So, if that's the effect you're going for, I would have just a separate paragraph, maybe after this one. So, train of thought. Yeah, if you want it to like burn through a wall of force, you just a separate paragraph that says, if this spell makes contact with a spell such as Wall of Force, treat this spell as if the flames of this spell come within contact of a Wall of Force spell or similar magic, the wall is destroyed as if touched by the Disintegrate spell. Because Wall of Force can specifically only be destroyed by Disintegrate. Yeah, a Wall of Force spell or similar magic. The wall is destroyed as if harmed, or as if targeted by the Disintegrate spell. Damn it, Switch Sports Resort is what Nintendo should be making right now. It's just Wii Sports Resort, but again. Oh, also as a formatting thing, spells are remain in sentence case, so they would all be lowercase and they'd be italicized. The spell has no finite duration but requires concentration to maintain. If you break concentration, the fire will begin to recede, losing 5 feet from its diameter at the end of each your turns. At the end of each your turns. 15-foot diameter. The fire will start to recede. You're working with diameter, so that does make it kind of awkward to do. Like the maths for diameter is very strange, so I would start it as a 15-foot radius sphere. Because just working with diameter is really kind of awkward. Yeah, I'd say reduce it to a 10-foot radius, because so yeah, a 10-foot radius sphere of magical. Yeah, so it'd be a 20-foot radius. If you break if you lose concentration, the fire will begin to recede. Hang on. it might... it's probably easier. It probably would be a hell of a lot easier if I do, like, this. It would probably make a bit more sense. Oh, shit. Yeah, this would make a hell of a lot more sense if I just do it this way. If the planes of the spell come into contact with a wall of force spell or similar magic, the spell has no finite duration, but requires concentration to maintain. So I guess the concentration, no fixed concentration, infinite, I suppose. There's no finite duration, but requires concentration to maintain. When you lose concentration on this spell, it does not immediately end. Instead, the spell radius recedes by 10 feet at the beginning of each of your turns. Only when the spell's radius is reduced to 0. Move this here because this is more relevant information than when the spell would end. At the start of each of your turns, whilst the spell persists, its radius increases by 5 feet. There's no maximum as to how large to grow. I think this section here, if this is a wildfire, it shouldn't protect anyone. This should be the kind of spell that you drop and then just fucking book it. I would say this is, but in turn, this spell does not do. Yeah, it is a bit of a scorched earth kind of situation. These should be lowercase here. Any creature, or a creature that enters the fire's area for the first time or starts its turn there must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, a creature suffers... Now this damage is pretty negligible for a 9th level spell, I would argue at least. Yeah, let me just double check and look at some other 9th level spells, but I'm fairly certain this is very low on the 9th level scale, to my knowledge at least. What is a good example of a damaging 9th level spell? That is the question. Because most of them don't do damage. Meteor Swarm is the big one, I suppose. You create 4 different 40-foot radius spheres that does 40 d6 damage in 4 separate 40-foot radiuses. So yeah, like yeah, this is a fairly negligible amount of damage. I would say like this is probably the most suitable. I'm also not so sure about this force damage. Like I see the implication that it's magical fire, but I think force is more specifically for like nondescript magic that isn't bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, as opposed to just like raw magic energy. Though, no, well, no, I think it's, yeah, 14d6. So this is, so 14d6 is 49 damage. And this does, this does 52 in like a single thing. So yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, actually, no, I think the original damage was probably fine. Greetings, welcome in. Hang on, I will, so yeah, Featherfell, I'd say this is, with sort of some, basically just needed some wording alterations, really. This is a neat spell, I like this. Hang on, I will, I suppose I'll whisper this to you. I need to sit down and go take a look at that artificer thing that you sent me, because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I'm not sure what the formatting is going to be like on this. Oh, that's, yeah. I'm personally, I'm not that bothered about the concept of exclusive spells. I think they have their place, but I'm not really that bothered by them. But yeah, no, I see the appeal. I've just whispered it to you. It is a big block of text, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Like, the paragraph breaks are basically the same as they were before. But either way, I am going to go look at plane shape again. Is a design of your choosing and is sculpted to your liking. The size and number of biomes. The size and number of biomes on your world are determined by the quantity and combined cost of the material components provided for the spell. The crystalline sphere used in the spell's components dictates the overall size of your created world. Assuming the created world is a spheroid. So you spell spheroid? Oh, okay, I put an E in where it needed to be. How is a sphere created? Define, like what specifically do you mean by sphere? As in just, like, this specific plane, or the sphere of crystal, or just, like, spheres as, like a basic mathematical concept? Or geometric concept? So I suppose the answer to all three is probably gravity. Oh yeah, that's not even a sphere at all. It's just a normal terrarium. It's so it's one terrarium of crystal glass. There we go. So you just make a normal terrarium out of fancy glass, and you wanted your world to be a desert with cacti. You plant some cactuses in it. It sure does. I'm here for it. Assuming the created world is a spheroid planet, the circumference of that planet is as follows. So then, now it's time to make some tables. Crystal sphere worth. Plane circumference. $500 miles. Now, normally this would look a lot nicer because these would be in these would be in more strict columns, but it looks a lot nicer to have it like this for streaming. So there's not too much crap on the screen, the screen at once. Oh shit. $1,000 miles. 1 million gold pieces for 2,000. No, not 2,000 miles. There we go. Not 4 miles. 4,000 miles. Now, this is proving to be a little more. Yes. Yes. When several gravity wells alike love each other very, very much. See, I looked this up briefly just before you came in, and the Earth, like planet Earth, has a circumference of just shy of 25,000 miles. So all of these are really, really tiny. But also these costs are also really, really tiny. So I think maybe what we'll do is we'll sort of cut out the middleman a little bit here, because 1,000 mile circumference, like the US coast to coast, is like 1,000 miles to my understanding. I'll just double check that, like as the crow flies. But I'm fairly certain US coast to coast is yeah, a lot of I mean a lot of these homebrew streams are maths. Like, let's be honest, that is a frequent occurrence. Let's go from LA to New York, which I'm pretty sure, as the crow flies. No, it's 2,500 miles. So it's even more than that. Math's good and roleplay good. They are not mutually exclusive. Certainly in my experience, all the good players are the people who, at the very, very least, like one and don't mind the other one. That's very true, Libby. That's very true. We're very, very socially adjusted individuals, you know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like there's a difference between not being all that good at something and sort of certainly in my experience, the only players I've had at my table where I've said I really don't want you to be here are the kinds of people who pick one and then look at the other one and go, no, I'm not going to do that, because it's like you're playing this game. It's both. You do both of these things. You can like one more, even significantly more, but you still have to do the other one, even if only a little bit, you know? Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But the the obviously D&D is sort of the introductory game for everybody. D&D is very much 5e especially is the bridge game for non-TTRPG players to being a person who plays TTRPGs. And some people sort of branch away from 5e because they, like, most people just want to try other systems. Some people just actively don't like 5e. I'm not sure what you're asking. Oh, right, yes. I didn't see the full stop. Yes, that is my name. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I'll say welcome in. Yeah, I'd say certainly in, like, D&D, for D&D to be fun, you need to enjoy both of the parts of the game. I'll say once you find your fun, you know, that's the way you do it. But some people can't find their fun in 5e because 5e has either too much role playing or too much combat, or for some people it's just like, oh, this very specific mechanic, I hate it, which is fair enough, I suppose. Like, but it's, you know, it's like that. Generally speaking, people who very specifically say, I want to do role-playing only, I don't give a shit about combat, or people say, I want to do combat only, I don't give a shit about role-playing. 5th edition is not the game for either of those people, because 5th edition caters for the people who want to do both of them, and they want to do both of them very consistently. Yeah, I think if D&D just in general, the exception of 4th edition, is very good for that, because it does strike a very nice balance. 5th edition, I think, does it better than any other edition. Strikes this very fine balance between, here are the mechanics, they're not that complicated, and here is the opportunities we give for you to roleplay. I say, yeah, yeah, I'd say I did some Magic the Gathering races, or I redid some of them, because Wizards did a bunch of the races a few years ago and did them indescribably badly. It's like they got an intern to come in and do them, like an intern who had played 5e once in the playtest, like 3 years prior, and had never played it since. It was really bad. And then I also made, you know, a handful of others as well. And Plane Shape is very sort of MTG inspired as well. Right, actually, I think I like this scaling, because we can go 5,000 miles. Oh yeah, I started one. I started a custom constructed set on stream on Friday, I want to say. Having a blast with it so far. It's a good time. So yes, thank you for the follow. I'm two to go. Close. Very close. 10,000 miles. 20,000 miles. 5 million gold pieces. Okay, right. Additionally, the number of terrariums provided as the material provided for the material components for this spell. dictate the number of unique... Oh, Inuk is what I put there. Unique biomes found across the plane. For example, if you provide 3 terrariums, one showing a plains, one showing a lush forest, and another tall spire-like mountains. I suppose mountains aren't really a terrain, are they? Oh yeah, that's the that's sort of the this thing here is that they're, you know, you would make this little terrarium. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's like obviously in a low gold setting, you're never gonna get to cast this spell, but that's kind of the point. In a low gold setting, most low gold settings are also fairly low magic too. Generally, it's not always the case. Yeah, it's in a very high magic setting. This is sort of some wizard's ultimate mega goal. Is like, yeah, I'm gonna cast plane shape, and also, I have maybe this is a spell that no player will ever want to cast, and if that's the case, that's totally fine, because there are lots of spells like that in the PHB, where no player is ever going to cast these spells because they're just too niche and weird and not really useful. Yeah, it's true. You just turn an ant into like into just a giant gold brick. I still love that with True Polymorph you can turn like a spoon into like just a person. Just like this person springs forth from a spoon. It's just it's great. I love it. But oh yeah, that's what I was getting at. There are a lot of spells, especially in 5th edition, and I think even more so in old editions actually, that they're more for the DM. Say, Curse of Strahd, good fucking book. Dragon Heist, I have never read it, but it looks really good. My friend Ruben, who's not in chat at the moment, he might pop in with a pog emoji and then leave immediately later on. He's currently running it for some friends, and he's read it and he said it's really, really good. I'm a big fan of all of the villains, mostly because I've done a little bit of like reading into Forgotten Realms lore, so I know a lot of the like the villains in there, like Jalaxel and Manshoon, the Thanos-looking guy. And I love both of those characters so much; they're so cool. There's also Xanathar as well, but like he's a beholder, so he's not that interesting. Yeah, I'd say writing modules. Obviously, like writing them for your own home game is pretty easy. Like once you sort of, you know, once you sort of learn how to do it, it's not that hard. But writing modules for the purposes of other people running them is easily one of the hardest things you can do, because you have to turn your like garbage goblin notes that you can somehow comprehend, that you just sort of scribble down on a piece of paper or in a Word document or whatever, you know, sort of slapping it out in a way that you can understand. You have to translate that into like human words that fill all the gaps, which I especially had a significant like amount of trouble with. Number of turns. That's fair. Yeah. I say I'm not sure what the context for you writing your adventure is. If you're just writing it for yourself, then yes, the classic. All I have is a goblin named Jimbo. I have gone into sessions with less notes than that a couple times, but that's mostly just me being very arrogant and assuming I can bluff my way through a session, which sometimes I can do. Generally speaking, I can't. I've learned the hard way that I'm not very good at it. Just trying to blag my way through a session with absolutely nothing is. I'm not even sure what I was thinking. It was not a good decision. I'll say I was to say I'm not sure the sort of the context of like whether you're writing your losing my train of thought. For your sort of adventure, whether you're just writing it for your group or whether you're writing it to sell. If you're writing it to sell, I would recommend sort of going around and especially on like Twitter and stuff, looking for other people who make stuff for the DMs Guild and looking for an editor who will work for royalties, because editors will save you, because you, like, no matter how good you think it is, you are always going to make a terrible mistake that you don't notice, and they will pick that stuff up. Like, any decent editor will pick up on those sorts of things. And if they don't pick up on anything, then that's great, you know. I would, if you can sort of get into the, assuming that is your trajectory, or intended trajectory, or whatever. And another depicting an acidic bog. The player would hold a series of those different environments. Now, acidic, like, bogs are inherently acidic. Like, that's their nature. Yeah, that's fair enough then. I'll say, environments. Yeah, sure thing. Hang on. 1 second. No. Copy text from Twitch chat is an absolute sod. Fuck. Get in the fucking. There we go. Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't even need to do it because I opened Twitter and had the notification. So yeah, I'll say send that my way later on. I'll give it. I'll take. I'll give it a look. There we go. That's the words I was looking for. Different environments. Spaced out however you choose. The plane holds whichever flora you place within your terrariums, all of which only partly grown when the plane is created. only partly grown is created. However, the plane contains 0 fauna of any kind. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking more like, grab a few, get some foxes and, toss them out into the woods, and get some wolves. That's sort of the idea, is you'll be using, like you'll be forcibly plane shifting other creatures to your, to your plane. Not in the terrarium. The terrariums are consumed by the casting of the spell. You have to use plane shift to forcibly send them there. Though I think you can also use gate as well. I'm unsure though. So yeah, I'm liking the cover. I just took a look at that. It's pretty cool. I just need to. Oh, okay, right. I haven't spelled terrarium right. However, the plane contains 0 fauna of any kind. Such animals. As such, animals must be introduced to the plane through plane art. Yeah, plane shift does that. You can forcibly plane shift. Like you can cast plane shift normally and take a group of people, or you can forcibly plane shift, I think, one person. Right, where is... well, you're sort of shaping a plane. Like, planecraft also works as well. But, hang on, I feel like there was a point of inspiration for calling it plane shape, but, oh yeah, I just took a look at that. Yeah, so it looks neat. As such, animals must be introduced to plane through planar magic. Crystal sphere worth. I think I swallowed some dust. That was very unpleasant. Scrape. Escape shift. Yeah, definitely inhaled some dust there. Jesus, fuck. Oh, my eyes are watering and everything. Jesus. Fuck. That was very unpleasant. God, it was horrible. Fuck me. Oh. Tonight, I did unmute my mic, okay. Yes, my streamer riches. my many streamer bucks. I mean, maybe you can sue Twitch for, like, mental scarring. It would probably be a frivolous suit, and I imagine the judge would throw it out, but well, Twitch is an American company. They have a very abusable court system, so yeah, you could probably squeeze some money out of Twitch. Oh, good God, I'm dying. Oh, okay, I'm better now. It's fine. Such as animals, as such, animals through planar magic. Oh God. See, that's not even funny, because that's 100% happened before, and thinking about that I'm just like, yikes, that's not good. When the spell is complete, you may choose... Yeah, it's a big yikes indeed. You may choose to create a permanent to anywhere on your new plane that you choose. Spherical plane, spherical disc, remains in the spot where you cast the spell. You may choose for this portal to be one way, and which way the portal faces, if it is. Am I missing anything? Are there any other sort of... Oh! Such as magical forces on the plane. Alterations to magic on the plane. Well, in theory, yes. Not specifically by the spell, but obviously they would be living in an entirely new environment, which in some cases would be quite alien, which could cause, over many, many years, could cause those plants and animals to then, evolve into something more superior. But if you're a 9th level wizard, you have access to another spell that is ludicrously expensive, that is also... that I didn't make on stream, but is going to be in the same product as this, called Genesis. Change the stream for 10 or less working days, we'll find a pay them. Yes. That's a service right there. That's customer support. Oh, that's not even customer support, that's emotional support. I'm here for it. Can be applied to the plane at the DM's discretion, but would invoke an additional gold cost of at least 10,000 gold pieces. once... When the spell is complete, you drop to 0 hit points, but are stable. You cannot regain hit points for... You cannot regain hit points for 7 days. That is the one true way. An adamantine orb filled with the blood of an angel and a fiend. Oh, the blood of a celestial and a fiend. No. I'm thinking maybe like a some kind of magical sort of a sword crafted from adamantine. Oh yeah, that should probably be something to add. I'm just thinking of a component because actually, like the basic version of this spell, like the most generic version of this spell, is like super fucking affordable. Like it is super affordable, and it really shouldn't be. Like it really should not be at all. Like for like to put it into perspective, building a castle in the Dungeon Master's Guide costs 50,000 gold pieces. So making a plane only costs like 5 castles. Just making a whole planet is 5 castles worth of money, which is not. It's not really what I'm going for. With at least I need some kind of sort of anchor, like a oh, I know. It's going to be the same component that there is for Genesis, which is ludicrously expensive. That should help things along a little bit. And a 120-foot tall obelisk of solid silver embedded with gold inlay worth at least 10 million gold pieces. I do. It's very complicated. It's actually like, I don't know, it's the same level of complexity as this spell, but that's sort of the idea, is you know, if you wanted to, you could go full story of creation and make a plane and then make a race. And the race one is actually very reasonable for a 9th level spell, to be fair. Like, it's actually like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, that's like a 9th level spell, like very, very niche but cool. But the plane shape being a 9th level spell just seems like that's a bit fucking much, you know? No, Wish is only 8th level spells and lower. No, I'm fairly... Oh, well, that's true, actually, yeah. Technically, you could wish to mimic a 9th level spell. Have an in-depth knowledge of your planes. Well, I suppose actually no. This takes you 7 days. Yeah, they all become gods. That'd be kind of neat. That would certainly work. Kidnap some people and brainwash them, and well, not even brainwash them, just do some kind of elaborate world changing, like world-ending illusion, and just drive them through a portal, or that, yeah, just create a new race as well. It's more expensive that way, but it is the surefire way to get people to be like, yeah, they must be gods. Okay, right. I think that might be... yeah, sure. I'll say I will hear this, and then I'm gonna go take a break. Because I need to go grab some food. I'll come back. I'll probably be gone for about 10 or 15 minutes. I think everyone here has played Curse of Strahd, to my knowledge. I certainly have. Livy and Katie have. I would assume Spider Silk has. Where is Ninja Good Person? Hey, characters who don't have one fixed alignment all the time forever. That's nice. He's and a fighter. Demi, you've played bits of Curse of Strahd, haven't you? Some peasants. I have a feeling I might know where this is going. Because I know no priest in the church. Okay, that's kind of cool. Ah, yes, the holy water on the hand. I've not seen that before. That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not specifically, but you have made vague reference to it, yeah. An in-depth understanding of the created plane. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the Phyrexian cleric. That could be pretty interesting. Like red Phyrexian. Like my money is whatever you end up doing, he's probably going to start out neutral, like neutral something, and then maybe bridge into good. Oh yeah, no, I was talking about Dermot is playing a red Phyrexian or quiet furnace Phyrexian in a game I'm running in the future. It's going to be very interesting. You have in-depth understanding of creative plane, its layout. And whilst its layout, you can never be lost on the plane, and you always know which way. Sure does. Right, I think plane shape might be done. Certainly any sort of nitty-gritty other stuff I will do off stream, but I'm going to go take a break. I will probably be about 10 minutes. When I get back, I will be streaming for another sort of half an hour. I'll make a couple more spells. I have a couple of ideas for smaller spells, notably smaller spells, or smaller in scope, even if not in level. Yeah, I'll say, thanks for stopping by, folks. I shall return shortly. See ya. Hey folks, I'm back. I've had myself some food. I'm going to be going for another 20 minutes or so, and then I'm probably going to bring a head off. Let's put some music on. Right. What is on my spell list? So I have... Now, this is a placeholder name, but Toot. One action. I should probably just like copy this realistically. It'll make a lot more sense. I'm gonna change this name. It's not just Toot for no reason. Duration instantaneous. Material a brass horn. That is for artificers and wizards. You unleash a sound that travels pierces far and fast. Or a single word that can be heard. Can be heard up to 1 mile away. No, we'll go heard up to 5 miles away. The sound provides no discomfort. The sound is not at a discomforting or painful volume. It simply can be heard at the volume of a shout within its radius. This is a very, very simple spell. That's kind of the idea. I suppose I could also make it a ritual. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of or higher, the radius in which the sound can be heard is doubled. So level 2 it's 10 miles, level 3 it's 20 miles, level 4 it is 40 miles, level 5 it's 80 miles, level 6 it's 120 miles, 7 it's like 320 miles, 8th it's 640 miles, and at 9th it's like, oh yeah, you cast Toot at 9th level. It's a 1,000 foot radius. Any creature within 1,000 miles can hear what you say. So someone just goes, fuck, and then at 9th level, and everyone within 1,000 miles can hear you. Which honestly, that's worth a 9th level spell slot. I mean, there's a ritual to be fair, so you can upcast it. No, I need to actually check whether there's like any, like, do rituals cast spells at their lowest level? They do, don't they? Yeah, you could do Newt Newt. I mean, I'm probably gonna change the name to something else, but it'd just be Megaphone, but no. Epiphone. Oh. Epiphone. 20, yeah. These newts at the volume of 1,000 suns. So there we go. There's a very, very simple spell. There's Epiphone. So I had another idea for a more damaging spell, which we haven't really done very many of on stream. Cutting Current. We'll go 4th level. Transmutation. A long ribbon. Druid, sorcerer, wizard. You alter... No, not later. You alter the moisture in the air, causing it to form a whip of pure water. Striking out in a... Each creature caught in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. So on a dexterity saving throw, or must make a dexterity saving throw on a... So 4th level spell, so we go 3d6, so 3d6 slashing damage plus 3d6. Wait, no, that's worse than Fireball. Gotta go... Actually, I suppose it can be slightly worse than Fireball, have a wider effect, a wider area, and also have a secondary effect. On a success, a creature suffers half damage and is not knocked prone. So you would sort of throw your hand out and sort of, bring it over to the side, and this sort of current of water would just sort of spring forth from the air and would slash out at everybody. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 5th level or higher. That's very true. That's very true. So I'd say this spell's actually very good. Each spell slot expended above 4th. So yeah, it scales in a pretty linear fashion. I could go 2d8 and 2d8, which to my knowledge is actually much worse. I suppose I could do this and then do the yeah. So nah, it was fine as is. It was a strong spell. It's a strong spell. I like this. This is cool. Now, there's not a lot of like water themed spells in 5th edition, like at all. So having something like this is kind of neat, you know. It's interesting. What does it do? I suppose that's the best. To sort of explain what it does in like words, and then I might be able to come up with something. So I've translated a few weird things into mechanics before. I think Spider Silk knows the tale of Twinned Mind. I mean, well, he definitely does, because, you know, we spent about an hour sort of debating the mechanics of it, and exactly how it worked. For some vague context, Twinned Mind is a feature that I added to a class I sort of altered, in which it gives you a second turn every single round, but it lets you take your turn in 2 parts, which is very simple to explain to somebody as like a, you know, you get 2 different points in the initiative, but they're sort of the same turn. Like, that's fairly simple to just explain to somebody, but to explain that in like comprehensive rules text is challenging, to say the least. It was a fun time though. Yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. Read contingency, because this sounds like a miniature version of contingency, which is pretty much the exact effect that you're looking at. Contingency has a lot of restrictions on it, but it has a lot of the wording that you're looking for. And is also a very fun spell, so, you know, basing your spells off of fun spells that already exist. Right. Now I had another idea, which is potentially a little ridiculous, just like it on power level as opposed to complexity. Untraceability. Well, it's intraceability. Oh, for actions. Okay. You sort of make like a ghost version of yourself that does it for you. That would make sense. Eighth level illusion, components, verbal, somatic, material. A shard of mirror. A shard of mirror, 4 pieces of cotton, and a ball of string. Ooh, and I heard this one before. This is interesting. Yeah, that might be a point, but there's ways you can flavor it to make that, you know, work, I suppose. Oh, this is some new music from this. This is why this is new. This is Oh, he posted a whole like two albums to this this thing, adding another like 3 hours to this soundtrack like a week ago. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I don't think that's so much going to be an issue, really. No, I think the player should probably know if it's a hit. Because there's no point in them concentrating on, or I don't know. Wizard. We'll give it to sorcerers too, because that makes sense. Concentration up to an hour. The creature you touch becomes completely undetectable. It cannot be the target is invisible, inaudible, has no gives off no scent, zoinks. Having a rough time with the old internet there. Always fun, always fun. There's no order of scent and does not need somatic or verbal components to cast spells. Unless in the presence of a creature with blind sight or true sight, the creature is considered to automatically succeed on all dexterity stealth checks. Yikes. That is a yikes indeed. So yeah, again, a very simple spell, but with a very clear power. It's greater invisibility, but on steroids, and that aspect being 8th level is probably fair. Maybe it could be a 6th or a 7th, but I don't know. I think this is acceptable. I do actually have one like that, sort of tucked away in my homebrew. It's an 8th level called Xenogamy, but it's from another source, so I can't like start showing it off because I don't remember what it's from. I mean, I can go tell you what it's from. That would actually, I'll tell you where I got it from. Theorems and Thaumaturgy. What that is, I couldn't tell you. Oh, it's on drive-through. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I got this in a big spell bundle. Yeah, I remember this. Theorems and Thaumaturgy. It's on drive-through. It's quite good. It painted in a more sort of like mad scientist light than what you're talking about of like a druid making 2 magical friends. Or just giving a rat wings. Hey, you should just restart your router. That's probably the best thing you can do, really. I think given the time, because I just looked and it's like 7 o'clock, I should probably stop here because I do have a game to go to. But we made some cool spells today. I've been wanting to make plane shape for months. Oh, that's weird. Well, it must just be a Twitch thing. But either way, made plane shape, a spell I've been looking at making for months. Made Epithone, which is just a dumb spell, but it has application. It's a mini sending kind of. Cutting Current, which I think is a cool damaging spell, and Intraceability. Tomorrow evening, I'm probably gonna stream Pokemon because I didn't stream it yesterday because I wanted an evening off. But I kind of want to play it anyway, so I'm gonna play it tomorrow evening. I think. I will. I'll keep people posted on what's happening there. As for other streams this week, on Friday, I don't think I'll be streaming. Saturday afternoon, I will definitely be streaming some Pokemon. And on Sunday evening, I will probably stream some more Pokemon as well. And then I'll be doing this again next Monday. I do want to work on some Magic stuff this coming week, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Just because of like how whack my schedule is at the moment. Like my schedule's just all over the place right now. So I will may have to sort of put some things to the side. But either way, I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. I am going to attempt to raid somebody if there anybody is to raid. If there is anyone to raid, even. Is anyone streaming D&D that isn't streaming just D&D live play? Somebody reading Rime of the Frost Maiden. Bunch of people playing live play. Got a bunch of people like, holy shit, it's a lot of people playing live play. Nah, we won't bother raiding anybody today. But yeah, I'll say thanks for stopping by, folks. I will hopefully see some of you tomorrow because hopefully I'll get to stream tomorrow. I think I will. But yeah, see ya.